Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's time for the Tuesday banger. It's time for the Tuesday banger, y'all. That's a lock. It's time for the Tuesday banger, and I got one. Keep a banger at all times. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the mornings, and I promise y'all there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it, man. I want you to love yourself, man, for you're going to have to get in trouble, man. Because when you love yourself, you're not going to put yourself in a crazy situation, man. Back in the day when I was getting in trouble, I wasn't loving myself, man. I wasn't even loving my family, man, because I was going to take myself away from my family, man. I didn't care about nothing at the moment, man. You must love yourself, man. You have to, man. Talk to yourself. You must tell yourself, man, I don't want to go over here. I don't need to be hanging with these people. I don't want to roll around in this neighborhood, man. I don't want to do these bad things. Tell yourself that and make yourself do it, man. This is your body. You control your arms. You control your legs. You control your fingers. Tell yourself to just stay out the way, man. This is the best life if you just stay out the way. I want you over here on this side, man. Not on the side where you going to jail, getting in trouble, worrying your peoples when you get locked up. No, I want you to stay out the way, man, and enjoy your life. That's all I want from y'all. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is the Tuesday banger game. So what did y'all do this one? Like, share, subscribe, so y'all. Skip. Let's go. What? It's time for business. It's time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called He Walked Right Into a Trap. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary, man, where crazy things happen all the time, man. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, y'all already know they got so many dudes in there, man, and just they're the finesse kings, man. Like, a lot of these people, they're not really predators, man. Sometimes they just fall in a situation where they must become a predator, or they got predator vibes or something like that, man. They do a lot of predator things, man. And like, when you kind of like prey on somebody and like trick somebody with stuff, or just, you know what I mean, just try to be something that's not genuine to somebody just for you can get some cheeks, man, pause, then you are a predator, man. So I seen a lot of them in there. I have seen a lot in there, man. But a lot of them get past you a little bit because you don't know they really predators, because it's just a lot of people in there that shake, rattle, and roll. So like, everybody that shake, rattle, and roll is not a predator, man, but they can become predators, man. They can be in predators training, y'all. So with that being said, though, we on Sussex 2 for this, y'all. We on Sussex 2. And I can remember being in 3D. We in 3D for this one, man. It's like, kind of when I'm in the pod around this time, everything is smooth, basically. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, everything is rolling smooth. Everybody in there is kind of enjoying 3D. This is kind of like the middle part of us being in 3D. Not the beginning, not the end, like the middle part. I'll say the time back when, you know, everybody was doing good, basically, man. Everybody was doing good. So it was like, we didn't really have like situations where people was in there bumping heads, pause, everybody was getting into it. It was like people fighting. It wasn't really going down like that in 3D, man. All dudes was doing in 3D, man, was working, messing with the la-la, and gambling. That was it, man. There wasn't a whole lot to do, and getting at the ladies and stuff like that. Like, it wasn't really nothing else to do for real like that, man. Like, 3D, we was like segregated from everybody else. We was in our own building. We the only population part of there. So it was like we had our own rules on the low. But at the end of the day, for the majority of the time, it was still a good block in there, man. We didn't have no boys in there, no dudes in there that was shake, rattle, and roll, that was out in the open, that we knew of. And we know, like, that's hard to have like that, nobody in the pod that shake, rattle, and roll. But sometimes it'll be like that sometimes, man. It just won't be nobody in there. So I can remember, man, everything was going smooth like that, man, things started changing up a little bit, man. First, they had did a move. I told y'all they had did a move one time, and they moved all the people that was in school to 2 building. Then they moved people that wasn't in school out of 2 buildings, so they just had to move them anywhere. So basically, all the people that they moved out was getting replaced with people from 2 building. So they brought some red team members down there, man. They actually brought this one dude down there, man, that I never really liked. I never really liked this dude. I ain't even gonna lie, I never really liked this dude for a lot of reasons, man. Like, he was around when I first got the 2 building, when I first got the 2C, basically, man. Like, he wasn't in the pod with me, but he was in the pod next door. But like, he was an all-around maniac, man. I'm talking about all-around maniac, man, especially when it came to them boys, man. Like, you gotta understand, I seen a little bit in the jail, I seen a little bit in Deep Metals, and since I've been on Sussex too, I've been seeing all of it. Pause. It's crazy, you know what I mean? It's been going crazy up there with the dudes that be shake, rattling, rolling. But this dude I'm about to talk about, man, we're gonna call him Beam, man. Like, Beam was one of those dudes, man. Like, he didn't have no cut cards about him shake, rattling, and rolling. And it wasn't nothing wrong with that, though. You can be who you are. Like, I'm not saying, like, you're supposed to be ashamed of who you want to be, or if you feeling like you like men or whatever the case, pause. Like, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do, then do you. Like, it ain't like that. But, like, when you in prison and you seeing this stuff happen, it's a little bit more weirder. It's a little bit more crazier, because it's like you trapped in this place, feel like another planet, and you seeing men mess with men. And that's all it is in there is men. So it looks different from our view. But if when you on the street and you see dudes shake, rattling, and rolling, it don't bother you because you're not really around it like that. So like, this one dude will make you feel uncomfortable because he was the type of dude, he just didn't really care, man. Like, Beam was this tall dude, and he was older than us, man. Like, he was older than us when we was in 2 building. Now this is years later, and it's like, he just started getting older as time went. He was already older. He just started getting older, man, to the point where his waves ended up getting, like, he had like this little gray mark in his waves, you know what I mean? He still had hair to be older, which was different, you know what I mean? He still had waves, but it was turning gray. So like, he was one of those dudes that like, he'll just be like all over the place with it. Like, he didn't care about nothing, man. Like, he had the boy over here, he was messing with the boy over there, he go to church, mess with the boy. Every time you see him, it had something to do with messing with a boy. And that's just who he was, man. So like, he didn't care about if you knew about him doing that. The people from his city where he was from didn't like, they felt like they couldn't say nothing to him. Or maybe he just been down too long. I never knew how long he was down, but maybe nobody really cared about what he did. But like, he was the type of dude, like, when he come in your block, he gonna have a boy, and like he just gonna operate from there. You know what I mean? Like, I never really been in the block with him. I seen him when he was next door. So when they did the move from people from 2 building and the people coming to 3D to my pod, Beam was one of the people that come over the joint, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. So like, seeing him walk through the door, man, like, you know, he already was gonna be the tallest dude in our block. Like, Beam was like 6'5". You know what I mean? I give him 6'5", old head, kind of super duper tall old head. So when I seen this guy walk in, man, like, it made my skin crawl a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is on the strength that I knew what he was gonna bring to the block. Now, it won't nobody over there that was shake, rattling, and rolling in public. And then won't nobody over there that had a boy and they said, wow, I was over there in 3D, man. But as soon as Beam came to the joint, man, I don't know what he had set up. But like, you know, some of these dudes that been locked up a minute, they'll know the administration very well from other spots. Like, he might know this dude that was a CO, now he's a sergeant, but he know him from the other spot. And now he locked in because he know him. Like, it be relationships like that going on in penitentiary. So the dude Bean, I guess he was cool with the sergeant. So when they moved him over, they moved 2 people. Like, this was in cell. It was crazy because this was like in cell 17. They moved 2 people that to 2 building to go to school. And it was like, they both of the roommates, that was the only cell that had both of the roommates going. So it was one whole cell empty. When they all came in, it was like 6 people that came in that joint. When Bean came in, Bean came straight to cell 17, which was the only cell that was wide open, y'all. So boom, it was crazy. When nobody in the cell, how the maniac, the guy that shake, rattle, and roll, get to move in the only cell that ain't got no roommate. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because as soon as the sergeant came in that joint, he knew the sergeant. He pull up on him, hey, yeah, man, yeah, I'm over your building now. That's how he used to talk. Like, he was kind of like loud. Like, not really loud with people, but like, you know, he had one of them old crazy country voices. Hey, I'm over your building now. Yeah, what we gonna do? Yeah, look, I need a job too, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, so look, don't move anybody in my cell right now either. Don't move anybody in my cell. So like, we all hearing this and we thinking, you know, the sergeant already be showing us favoritism as far as how he deal with us because we the only population block. He already be looking out for us. Like, I felt like he probably was thinking like, I can't discriminate against the dude that shake, rattle, and roll, gang. You know what I mean? So he like, I ain't gonna move nobody in there yet. He was like, you gonna be in there for a while by yourself. We just don't put anybody over here in my building. We don't put anybody over here. So the dude Bean was like, yeah, all right, I'll find me a celly. Don't worry about it. I'll find me a celly. I'll find me a celly. So like everybody that was watching, like we wasn't happy to hear how cool he was with the sergeant. Like, you know what I mean? Then like by him saying he gonna find a celly, we already knew the count. He gonna find a boy. That's what he gonna do, man. So they move him. So he in the block. So now he's in there. He in the pod for like 2 days, and he came over there for like on a Monday. So the whole time, like he was dolo, like he won't even tripping. He won't even really tripping. There was a few people in there he talked to. He usually spent a lot of time standing by his cell, which was by the steps in a good space where a lot of people used to hang at before he moved there. You know what I mean? Because he was in cell 17. So he used to spend a lot of time there. So I didn't know what he had going on. So as we was just chilling one day we was just chilling. He ain't even been in the pod a week yet. We had the door open. We had the slide open. And the slide open up. Everybody always look. We look. They bringing a boy now, Jake. You know what I mean? They bringing a boy in, Jake, man. And like, for real, this was a white dude that was a boy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it was crazy. Like, I'm not mad like that, but I'm just like still watching this from the top tail. Like, yo, dude coming here off the top and get a boy moving his cell. But like I told y'all, the administration be looking out for people having them do things like that, man. So it was crazy just to see he make a power move like that. So he got this white dude moving the block with him, man. Now the white dude, you could tell he was gay. You know what I mean? Like you could definitely tell he was gay, man. So like I guess he was being girlfriend or whatever the case. Pause. Like I don't know, but he moved in the room with no hesitation. He moved in the room with no hesitation, man. And like he was cool for the majority of the time that they was in the cell. Like everything was cool. They ain't used to do nothing but come out, eat. You know what I mean? Walk laps together, go outside, walk laps together. Like he would show everybody that he was booed up. And he didn't care what nobody thought. He didn't care nobody look at him like, yo, this dude, wow. Like, you might see him walking by with the white boy. You know, he kind of tall. So he like, he got his arm around the white boy. He like this, they walking laps. He like, he cuff his shoulder. He like this dude a freaking psychopath, y'all. So boom. This is being business though. As long as he stay out of my business, we cool. And my business was getting that pack while I was in 3D. Y'all know the count. This is around that time. Like, it ain't nothing really jumping that's crazy like I used to have it when we first got over there. But still, though, my hands is still in a lot of stuff that when it comes to getting money. So, like, long as he don't get in my way, I'm going to stay out his way. And that's just the agreement without even saying it to each other that me and him had. And I'm probably pretty sure he had an agreement like that with everybody silently, man. Like, do you, and we going to stay out your way, you stay out ours. And that's how I was carrying it. So what he was doing really didn't bother me, man, until you would see him get into a domestic situation. He would get into a domestic situation every now and then with his partner, and like you will be in a cell, or we might be in the pod, and you just hear like somebody arguing out of nowhere, and then you can hear the boy voice. The boy be like, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. You think I'm using you? I don't want your stuff. I go to commissary. I don't need your stuff. Then you hear Bean like, yeah, I already know. Yeah, I already know. For these goddamn cookies and cakes. That's the only reason why your ass in this motherfucking cell, your hungry ass. Now, the white dude, he wasn't no big dude or nothing, but he was slightly a little chubby. You know what I mean? So maybe he liked to eat. I don't know. He was like, that's why you in my cell now, your hungry ass. And you used to hear Bean, like they used to get into it like that. And you would just hear a bunch of tussling and fighting and, you know what I mean, scuffling. And then this happened while we not out there. Now, this happened while we in the cell. When we come out, you'll see the white dude face will look like it's purple, or it look like it's been bruised, like somebody choked his neck. Like you will see stuff like that, like scary stuff, man. So like they was like in love and they was a couple, but like they just went through so much domestic stuff. So like domestic stuff went on for a minute, and I don't know what had happened. I don't know what was the word or what was going on or whatever the case, but like they used to just beef like so much. So I guess Bean started getting tired of it, man. And I think the boy had got mad when he seen Bean talking to this dude. Now, the dude he was talking to, I remember that conversation because we was actually on yard 2. Now, yard 2 is right by the 4 building, which is right by, the yard 2 is right by 4 building. And you can walk up the yard and get to the gate part where you can talk to dudes coming out the gym, or you can turn this way and talk to dudes on the ball field or talk to dudes on the basketball court. So we had our angles of, what made that yard a good yard. But like, I remember when they brought the intakes through, but they brought them through. And I think something that happened in medical, so they made them go lock into the gate where the gym was at. So they was all like right in front of us, and like we over here on yard 2, and you see dudes hollering at the intakes. And it was like 8 of them. It was like 8, 9 of them. But we didn't have no room in our pod at all. We didn't. They filled our pod up when they brought those dudes in from school. So when they having the little meeting, right? So when everybody right there talking, it was like I seen Bean. Bean was talking to this little short young boy, and the short young boy didn't look gay. he didn't look like that. And then I knew he wasn't gay from the conversation that they was having. Like, he was like, man, I ain't seen you, man. My daddy ain't seen you in a minute, Bean. He was like, man, that's crazy, Bean, man. My daddy ain't seen you in a minute, man. He was like, you still locked up. He was like, man, I was young. I was a baby when you got locked up. And you just heard Bean like, man, look, man, I know all your uncles, man. Yeah, I know all your uncles, man. You was a toddler when I seen you last. That's what he said. You was a toddler when I seen you last. Yeah, he was a toddler. They kicking it. Like, they standing right there. They not far from each other on the gate. The intake dudes just got locked in. They supposed to have went to their buildings. So I'm assuming the dude was going to full building because they was coming that way anyway when they locked them into the gate. So he's standing there talking to him for a minute. So I don't know if that triggered the boy that Bean messed with, you know what I mean? Like, he was trying to holler at the dude, but like, it looked like they knew each other from the street, kind of like, that's what it looked like, man. But the dude was a little short dude. He had the little fro, you know what I mean? He had no facial hair game, you know what I mean? Because he had looked young for real. Like, back then, I'm in my middle 20s. I'm probably like 23, 24. I give him like 21 at the most, you know what I mean? So the boy was kind of like from a distance, like watching Bean the whole time, which I didn't know. You know what I mean? But he had to been watching Bean because this was the argument when they came back to the block. So when we get back to the block from the yard, I seen Bean. Bean come upstairs. He walked to his cell. When he walked to his cell, the boy just started throwing stuff out his cell. Now, when he started throwing stuff out of Bean's cell, the lady that's working the booth, she pinned the shit. She from her booth, she watching somebody in cell 17 shit getting thrown out. So like everybody's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. When I walked back in, that's all you seen was the white dude like, get the fuck out. I'm sick of you, motherfucker. I'm sick of your shit. All you see was fucking shorts getting thrown. He's like, I'm sick of all this motherfucking, fuck this shit. Fuck, I hate all this shit. Fuck you. So Bean walking back in, Bean like, he looking at all his shit getting thrown out the cell. Man, he ran in that damn cell, man. That's all you heard was, you stupid bitch. Boom, you dumbass bitch. Get off me. Get off me. So everybody was like, the police about to come in. Police about to come in. So the police run in from the door. When the door opened up, they can see the fight because 17 is wide open. Man, I promise you, they run over to the fight. They get over to the fight. They break the joint up. They grab them. They put them in handcuffs. When they put them in handcuffs, I'm on the top tail like this on the low. Like if they can read my brain was going like this. Get them out of here, y'all. So boom. I was like this. I'm like, yeah, Bean, he done climbed the wrong beanstalk. Pause. I'm like, yeah, look at this. Get him out of here. So they get him up handcuffed. They put Bean on here. Bean's shirt all ripped up. He's super tall, sitting on the bench handcuffed. I'm like, man, he was throwing my stuff out. I come back from rec. I got all my stuff. He put water in my CD player. He just blacking out. So the CEO's like, y'all chill. So they didn't even lock us down. They took them out. So when they took them out, that's when they started kind of like calling different dudes to the office, which was a new tactic. Like, yo, what happened? So the sergeant messed with Bean. So I guess that's why he was calling different dudes. He didn't call me, but he called a few dudes. He called dudes in the office. Dudes went in there. And I guess the sergeant was like, yo, what happened? Whatever the case. So dudes ain't really want to tell really what happened. Like, I don't know if he got information out of somebody. I don't know. But all I know is, man, probably like an hour later after we locked down, I'm in the cell. I'm like, man, they got rid of Bean, bro. I'm like, yeah, that's what he get. That's what he get, man. Bean gotta go, man. He come over here with all that mess. Get him out of here, y'all. As soon as I say that, it was like, they blew the whistle. Bottom tier, staff account. We coming down. 1 through 12. We starting right there. And as they saying that, it was like the slide. You can hear the slide open up. The slide open up. I come to the door. I was like, I look. That's all you seen was Bean coming through looking like a freaking old Scottie Pippen. He was like, open up 17. Open up 17. Everybody come to the door and look. Everybody like, Bean back. I'm like, man, this is out of control, y'all. So boom. How's he back game, man? I was like, this is crazy. This man was fighting and he get away with that. These people get special privileges, man. I don't know why, man, but they do. But I don't know if they looked at it like that what he did was justified because the boy was throwing stuff out. They already know that these people be toxic. I don't know how he got out of this, but he got out of the situation. He get out of the situation and count. We come out after count. When we come out in the pod, I'm looking. I see him. He back dolo now. You know what I mean? He like, yeah, man, he poured water in my CD player, man. My CD player messed up. I'm glad he ain't messed my TV up, man. He already know it would have been over with for him, man. He was like, man, he just jealous, man. He can't get over being jealous. He think I was talking to my homeboy. I know that man family. I know everybody about his family. I'm like, that junk crazy, man. I'm like, man, that junk wild, man. So like, just hearing that he got into it, I was like, at least the boy is gone. You know what I mean? Like, he gonna be a psycho, but I just knew it wasn't over with, man. I just knew that Bean was gonna bring another boy to our pod, y'all, because he a maniac. So boom. So I knew it was gonna happen, man. But still, though, I'm in prison. I can't do that. I'm gonna mind my business. This is why you should stay out of prison, so you don't have to deal with these type of situations, man. But he's definitely gonna bring another boy in the pod, because this is who he is. I told y'all he's one of the maniacs of the Shake, Rally, and Roll team. So like, I already knew it was happening, man. I already knew it was gonna go down. So I wasn't even tripping about it, man. So we go outside for the afternoon rep. We go outside. We on the ball field. The little young boy that Bean talking to us on the basketball court. So every time I spin a lap. Every time me and my man was messing with the Lala. So every time we spin a lap and we get close to the gate, you just see Bean like, yeah, man, like, man, that's crazy, man. You look different, man. You older, man. You look different, older, man. You look like, he keeps, that joint that sounded fruity to me when he said that. He was like, yeah, man, you done got older, man. You look different, man. You got different, man. So I guess the dude was like he told the dude what had happened, you know what I mean? And I guess the dude was like, yo, that's crazy. So when we spin back around again, the conversation was like this. Hey, so look, I'm gonna holler at the sergeant on my end. You gotta holler at Joe Sergeant, because they just ain't gonna put anybody in my cell. They ain't gonna put anybody in my cell. So if you wanna move in the cell, you gonna have to holler at Joe Sergeant. So you wanna move in the cell, right? So we almost like passing him a little bit as he asked that question. You wanna move in the cell, right? That joke looked like it's supposed to have words, it was so powerful. Pause. He was like, you wanna move in the cell, right? Walk by, I was like, I was waiting for an answer. Little young boy was like, yeah, man. They got me in the cell with this dude, man. His feet stink. I ain't trying to stay in there with him, man. Yeah, man, you got all that food over there too, don't you, You got all that food over there. He was like, man, look. First thing he named was a suspect. He was like, yeah, look. I got honey buns, cinnamon rolls, cupcakes, tutti fruities. Oh, he ain't say tutti fruities, but I'm just like, he's naming all the sweet items. He's like, I got it all. I got food. I got food for days. Yeah, I'm about to go make me something to eat when I get back, man. I don't even be eating like that. I'm about to go make me a meal. As soon as I get back, he start rubbing his belly. I'm like, man, so we post up like the door, like with the door open, with the gate open up back when you leave, because it was almost time to leave. So me and my man standing there lit all up high, laughing at this shit. We like, yo, dude, wow. So my man like, yo, hold on. Are we that high? Or this young boy about to move in the cell with goddamn Bean? I was like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, bro, that's what they talking about. I was like, bro, he says it's fam though. He was like, man, that nigga ain't his motherfucking family, man. He was like, man, that nigga Bean goddamn gay as a bitch, bro. That nigga don't give a fuck about no family or none of that shit. I'm like, bro, listen, that young nigga gotta save his own goddamn self, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure niggas done told him that goddamn the nigga Bean Shake, Rattle, and Roll. He was like, man, that shit crazy. He was like, man, for real. Like, this city wasn't far from my city where this dude was from, the young boy and Bean. You know what I mean? But my man was like, yo, I fuck with a nigga that be fucking with him from his city. Goddamn, he was like, man, I'm gonna tell that nigga, man, I'm moving the fucking cell with that nigga, man. That nigga fruity as a bitch. Like, yo, that nigga goddamn a fucking goddamn maniac with the Shake, Rattle, and Roll, man. This nigga do the real Shake, Rattle, and Roll. So I'm like, that's on you, bro. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell my nigga. Tell my nigga to tell him, like, yo, don't move. He about to come way over the 3D to move in the cell with this nigga. So I'm like, bro, do your thing. You know what I mean? So they open the gate up. We left. Go back to the pod. You know what I mean? Bean still in the cell, Dodo. So I guess my man had sent the message like, yo, for my man to meet him. You know what I mean? So when we was coming to dinner, we leaving out 3D. 3D is right next door to 4 building. So as we leaving out, my man homeboy was in the door of 4 building. He didn't come out because I don't think he wanted. He probably told the CEO, I gotta catch 3 building when they eat. Let me stand right here. So he was in the door. So when we walked by, my man was like, yo, hold on, Weezy. He pull up on him. He was like, what's up, man? What's good, dude? He was like, what's up? What you had to holler at me about? He was like, yeah, look. So I slow down. You know what I mean? I'm waiting on my man. He was like, yeah, look, man. Little young boy, man. What's that little young boy name, man? What's that little young boy name with the little fro that just moved in y'all block, man? He was like, who you talking about, Lil Danny? My homeboy was like, yeah, I think that's him. I don't know his name. He the little short dude from out y'all way with the little fro. He was like, look, yo, the dude Bean from out y'all way? He was like, yeah, what about him? He was like, you mess with him? He was like, no, I don't mess with him, man. That Bean be out of control on this compound, man. He was like, well, look, your little young homeboy talk about moving in the cell with Bean. He was like, well, what? He was like, yeah, he talk about he's supposed to move over in our pod with Bean. So as he say that, I kind of giggled a little bit. I couldn't hold it. I was like, that's crazy, man. He was like, y'all serious, man? I was like, yeah. I turned around like, yeah. So he put my 2 cents in. I was like, yeah, bro. So my man like, yo, tell him don't move in there, man. Tell him, dude, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, da, da, da. He was like, man, everybody know that, man. Everybody know that, man. He like, Bean get down like down the street. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, he get down like down the streets. I was like, he was a Shake, Rattle, and Roll on the street. was like, yeah, that's definitely his profession, man. So he was like, man, I'm gonna tell him. And he was like, you know, Lil Danny for real, like he don't really like this part like that, man. He was like, you know, the dude Bean grew up with his people, so he like he know Bean. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? So my man was like, man, all right. He was like, I'm just letting you know, bro, because I know I rock with you, so I'll just let you know to let him. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna say something, but he his own man. So I'm like, all right. So bro was like, all right. So me and bro kept moving to the child hall. So me and bro go to the child hall, man, like for real, like we was in the child hall and like we stayed in there for a second. Like I mean, my man was like, yo, basically like, bro, I can't, you know, I told him like it was up to them. You know what I mean? It's up to them. Like we can't really like, I was like, yeah, bro, like for real though. I was like, man, maybe the young boy might be shake, rattling, and rolling himself. You know what I mean? Y'all, he was like, man, I don't know, man, I don't know. Get up, put our trays up. And we just walking down the boulevard just thinking about like, yo, that junk crazy, man. Like, I hope young boy don't do this, man. As soon as we got back in 3 building and went up the steps, as soon as the slider opened up, man, I promise you, man, the slider opened up, I looked, they had an elevator, you know what I mean? Now, you can come from 4 building, like the police only use this from time to time. Like our building is basically connected to 4 building, basically. 3 buildings connected to 4 building. And you can actually get to 3 building or 4 building from like this long hallway in the little elevator or whatever the case. But I don't know what had happened. But as soon as we was coming up, when we got up the joint before we got into our part, I looked to my right where that door would be at, actually where people be coming from. And I looked and I just seen the dude, Lil Danny. He was standing in the joint with his cart. He had his cart in his hand, man. He had his cart in his hand. And the lady opened the joint up, boom. And everybody, all that's coming back from child. He ain't got no shame in this game. Lil Danny just started pushing his cart. He just started pushing that jank. My word. So I stayed like by the office. My man slept in cell too. So I'm right. I back up what my man said. I'm like, yo, look, bro. Look, bro. He was like, he looked up. All you see was Lil Danny like this walking to cell 17. He was like,
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.